Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to cheerfully guide you through the wonderful and surprisingly simple world of the Swedish present tense, known as Presens. If you've ever tangled with complicated grammar rules in other languages, well, you're in for a real treat today. Learning Swedish grammar doesn't have to be a headache. In fact, I'm going to show you just how elegant and straightforward it really is.
Okay, let's quickly check our agenda. First, we'll meet the present tense, then look at its three main uses, see how to form it, learn how to avoid some really common mistakes, and finally wrap up with some time to practice.
Section 1. Meet the present tense, a grammar mythbuster. So if you're feeling kind of intimidated by learning a new language, take a deep breath. Swedish grammar is about to become your new best friend. Here's a massive mythbuster for you. English actually forces you to learn two different present forms. Think about it. We say I work and I am working. But Swedish unites both of those concepts into just one beautifully simple word, jag jobbar. It literally covers both meanings. So you're learning half the grammar, but getting double the communication power.
Section 2. Three main uses. The rule of three.
This single, versatile verb form effortlessly handles three entirely different scenarios in your everyday conversations. First up is what we call nu, which simply means right now. You use this for things happening right at this very second. Like we just talked about, it replaces the English I am doing format entirely. No extra helping verbs needed at all.
This brilliantly illustrates that point in a real-world chat. Vad gör du means what are you doing? And the answer? Jag läser en bok. Notice how the simple present verb, läser, acts as a complete ongoing action. It translates perfectly to I am reading.
Okay, the second use is for vana or allmänt, basically habits or general facts. We're talking about actions that repeat regularly without a specific, urgent time attached to them, or just statements that are universally true in the world.
So whether you're talking about your daily routines, like saying jag dricker kaffe varje morgon for your non-negotiable morning coffee habit, or stating a universal fact like solen går upp i öster, meaning the sun rises in the east, the exact same present tense handles it all seamlessly.
And finally, our third use. This one is honestly a bit of a magic trick for language learners. You can actually talk about the future, from tid, without having to learn a completely new future tense. No way, right? All you do is take your trusty present tense verb and just throw in a future time word.
Look at this fantastic example. Vi åker technically means we go, or we are going. But notice how simply adding the time marker, på fredag, on Friday, instantly transforms the present verb, åker, into future plans for a Stockholm trip. It is incredibly efficient.
Section 3. Forming the present tense, the three verb groups.
Right, now that we know exactly when to use it, let's look at the basic mechanics of how to actually build these verbs. Generally speaking, forming the present tense is really just a matter of adding an R or an ER to the end of the infinitive word. And this breaks down pretty neatly into three basic groups. Group 1 verbs end in A, like prata. You just add an R to make pratar. Group 2 verbs drop that ending A and add ER. So kupa becomes Cooper. And group 3? Those are the short, punchy verbs ending in a vowel other than A, like bu, and again, you just slap an R on the end to make bur.
But of course, as with absolutely any language, you might be asking right now, well, what happens when verbs just don't want to play by the rules?
Well, here's your cheat sheet for those rebels. For these everyday essentials, from vara, which turns into är, meaning to be, or göra, becoming gör for to do, right down to your modal verbs like måste for must, there's really no magical shortcut. Because you're going to use these words dozens of times a day, you simply must memorize them. But honestly, don't worry. Through practice, they're going to become second nature very quickly.
Section 4. Avoiding common mistakes, guidelines for beginners.
Now, even with wonderfully simple rules, it is so easy to trip up when your brain desperately wants to translate word for word from English. Please, I beg you, never try to add the word for am, which is är, right before the main verb. Beginners constantly say jag äter, trying to say I am eating. Remember our mythbuster. Jag äter perfectly covers I am eating all on its own. Trust the verb.
To ensure you sound like a natural from day one, always follow these three really simple guidelines. Number 1, drop the to be verbs like am, is, and are for ongoing actions. Number 2, learn verbs as a dynamic duo. Always memorize the infinitive right alongside its present form, like adsova with sola. And number 3, absolutely leverage those time markers. If you mean tomorrow, say imorgon. Otherwise, people will for sure think your future plans are happening right this very second.
Section 5. Time to practice. Solidify your skills.
Learning the theory together, like we just did, is a really fantastic start. But the absolute best way to make these rules stick permanently is through active practice. I strongly encourage you to check out the link below this explainer right now. There, you can access a variety of specific exercises designed to help you confidently build these present tense habits until they're totally automatic.
With these tools in your pocket, Swedish grammar is completely yours to command. You know the rules, you know the exceptions, and you know exactly which mistakes to avoid. So ask yourself, are you going to keep translating English in your head, or are you ready to start truly thinking in Swedish? Click that link below, jump into those exercises, and let's make it happen today.